tonight on Newswatch.
This needs to stop now.
The father of the boy who was struck by a bus is speaking out about politicians using his son for politics. Plus, an annual tradition is back this weekend. We sit down live with one of the organizers of this year's Paw Paw Festival to discuss what you need to know. And in sports, Athens and Nelsonville York High School volleyball clashes for the top of the TVC. Newswatch starts right now. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jack Green. A severe drought continues to impact our region and many farmers, and our WOUB forecasters aren't seeing much rain coming our way. Forecaster Steve Nedlick is here with the latest. Steve, when could we see some rain?
Yeah, we still have a little bit of time until we see some rain. We're looking more towards the beginning of next week. So really, it's not looking good, especially today and through the end of this weekend. We're going to have really high temperatures and really clear skies, which is nice, but it's definitely not good for this drought. Today, we had a high of 91 degrees with these clear skies. Now, those clear skies allowed for us to have an overnight low of 53 degrees, and that's really represented by this map. As you can see, we get down into the low 50s at night because all that heat radiates off during the night. But then during the day, we have plenty of sun to heat us right back up, so it puts us right back into a beautiful sunny sky, but the drought is not going anywhere anytime soon. You can see that this high pressure system is really breaking up what we had coming. We really thought we were going to get some rain this week, but unfortunately, that high pressure really sat over it and broke it up before we could really see the effects of it. Currently, we're sitting at 85 degrees with, again, clear skies, so that high pressure is really going to set up shop. So really stay tuned for my next full forecast coming up.
Thanks, Steve. And speaking of that drought, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is offering assistance to those impacted by the drought in our region. Impacted producers should contact their local USDA service center to report losses. Livestock producers who suffered grazing losses for covered livestock due to drought on privately owned or cash leased land may be eligible for the 2024 Livestock Forage Disaster Program. Athens County is set to receive over $120,000 to help restore wetlands along Sunday Creek. The money is part of a larger $1 million grant given to 12 new wetland projects across the state. Governor Mike DeWine says protecting wetlands are an important part of improving water quality statewide. A number of marijuana dispensaries across the state are hit with hefty fines for marketing violations. Greenleaf Apothecaries in Columbus and 5 other dispensaries have been fined by the Ohio Division of Cannabis Control. The fines say the businesses used signs advertising free ice cream and other signs that were not the correct size. Ohio law requires all marketing tactics to be approved by the agency. We are learning more about the person who allegedly made threats to the Dawson-Bryant local school district. A 12-year-old student is now charged with making those threats. The Lawrence County Sheriff's Office says the girl admitted to making threats against the Dawson-Bryant Junior High School. She is charged with delinquency by terroristic threat and delinquency by inducing panic. Schools in the district were closed yesterday as officials investigated the threat. She is scheduled to be arraigned in Lawrence County Juvenile Court. Springfield City Hall was evacuated this morning after it and several other buildings in the city received a bomb threat. This comes after the city was thrust into national conversations when former President Donald Trump alleged Haitian immigrants in the city had been eating pets. There haven't been any confirmed cases of that happening. It's not known if the bomb threats are related to that conspiracy theory. With all eyes on Springfield, the father of a boy killed last year when a Haitian immigrant hit a school bus is speaking out. Nathan Clark is calling on Republicans to stop using his son's name as a campaign tool as they talk about immigration.
This needs to stop now. They can vomit all the hate they want about illegal immigrants, the border crisis, and even untrue claims about fluffy pets being ravaged and eaten by community members. However, they are not allowed, nor have they ever been allowed to mention Aiden Clark from Springfield, Ohio. I will listen to them one more time to hear their apologies.
New developments in the race for the White House. Former President Donald Trump says he will not meet Vice President Kamala Harris, but it seems Harris is not giving up on the idea. Julia Benbrook explores the question, what's next as we head toward November?
Following their first face-to-face meeting on the debate stage,
Kamala Harris.
Vice President Kamala Harris argued it showed the American people what's at stake in November.
We've got some work to do because, listen, I think that we think today was a good day, and it kind of was. But we have 56 days to go, and guys, we're still the underdogs in this race.
Former President Donald Trump worked the spin room after, claiming the moderators were, quote, very unfair. But he also believes it was his best debate.
It was my best debate ever, I think. And it was very interesting. It showed how weak they are, how pathetic they are, and what they're doing to destroy our country and the border with foreign trade, with everything.
Shortly after the debate wrapped, the Harris campaign called for another round. But will we see a rematch? After several days of back and forth,
I think that, are we going to do a rematch? I just don't know. But we'll think about it.
Trump took to Truth Social on Thursday, answering the question, writing, quote, there will be no third debate. Meanwhile, we're still waiting to see if their debate performances will impact voter views. At a rally shortly after Trump's post, Harris continued to push, saying, quote, we owe it to the voters to have another debate. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
While another presidential debate is up in the air, a vice presidential debate has been set. Ohio Senator J.D. Vance and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz will face off in their first debate on October 1st. New research suggests social and economic conditions play a role in suicide prevention. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for young people, but they aren't the only ones impacted. The CDC says suicide was responsible for the deaths of more than 49,000 people in 2022. A new report says social and economic factors can affect suicide rates, with higher income areas having lower rates of suicide.
Preventable form of death, so we have a lot of opportunity to reduce those numbers, but they are high.
Ackerman also says having conversations at home about mental health can make kids feel supported. If you are struggling with thoughts of suicide or self-harm, help is available 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Just call or text the Suicide Crisis Lifeline at 988. If you are in the market to buy a home, now might be your time. The standard 30-year fixed-rate mortgage averaged 6.2% last week. The last time rates were that low was February 2023. Experts say recent economic data shows inflation slowing down and a weaker job market. This could cause the Federal Reserve to introduce its first rate cut in about 4 years. The Fed does not set mortgage rates, but its actions do influence bond yields. Coming up, the latest on Hurricane Francine and what you need to know about the Paw Paw Festival.
Find out if we get relief from this drought next.
We cover all the angles. We report the facts. We find clarity. PBS is here, delivering the credible, reliable, thoughtful election coverage you need to make informed decisions. PBS, your trusted election source.
There's so much divisiveness in this country.
Heightened tensions.
You just have to choose a side. You automatically have to hate the other side.
Deep divisions.
It does get heated. We have big fights.
And a stark choice.
We will make America great again.
We are not going back.
Judy Woodruff brings together citizens from across the spectrum. Crossroads, a conversation with America, September 23rd at 9/8 Central.
Most Americans have no idea they are not voting for the candidate they think they're voting for. Rather, they are voting for a slate of electors.
My role as an elector is to cast my electoral vote for Donald Trump if he wins the state of Colorado.
If Biden wins, then I will be one of the official electors.
I don't think I'm someone that you would think of when you think of an elector. I'm hoping this changes my destiny. Maybe I'll meet a Kardashian or a West.
One person, one vote. September 30th at 10/9 Central on PBS and the PBS app.
I want economic opportunity to be spread across this land.
This is a man who was so big that reached so far and made it, and then let the whole thing crumble.
We've been often say I don't want to be the first president who's lost a war.
The definitive biography of LBJ on American Experience.
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
Hurricane Francine is bringing torrential downpours and harsh winds to Louisiana. Francine made landfall yesterday as a Category 2 hurricane. Floodwaters reached a number of residential homes, as you can see on your screen, and left many without power. Louisiana's governor is calling for residents to be smart and stay safe, as flooding, heavy winds, and storm surge levels up to 8 feet are still significant threats.
Remind all of the citizens that now is the time that we're going to stay off of the roadways, stay home, and stay put.
Hurricane Francine's rains are exceeding residents' expectations and concerning to homeowners. Francine is the first hurricane to make landfall in Louisiana since 2021 and the third to make landfall in the United States this year. Joining us again is Newswatch forecaster Steve Nedling. Now, Steve, what is the latest on this storm?
So as it's made landfall, it's turned into what we call a tropical depression. So it's downgraded from a hurricane, but as it moves onto land, it'll slowly dissipate, as it'll do because it runs out of its power source, which is the ocean.
Yes, so could we see any impacts
We
in our
thought
area?
we thought we may see a little bit of an impact, but we've had this high pressure really sitting over us, causing that drought, and it really broke it apart. So we're really not going to see anything crazy from it. So not really, no impacts. So that really ties into right now. Currently, we're still seeing clear skies with a temperature of 85 degrees, and again, that is due to this high pressure system that is dominating over Ohio right now. You can really see it moved out of the way. It had this high pressure moved in and it really beat up Hurricane Francine and really didn't let us get any of that rain that we so desperately need at this point. With that, we've had a lot of really high temperatures due to a lot of low humidity, and this low humidity is really drying us out and enhancing our drought conditions. So really no open flames are really a good idea right now, as we are so dry that just a spark could cause a real big fire. Excuse me. As we look into the Pacific, however, we can see that there's a lot of momentum going on out there, so we might be able to see something in the coming days really develop into a tropical depression, and so we might be on the lookout for another hurricane that is the start of our hurricane season. However, back in Athens tonight, we have an overnight low of 52 degrees, and that is again because we have no clouds to really keep that heat and temperature in throughout the night. So we will lose all that heat, so it'll cool down. But a nice night to take a walk if that's what you have plans to do. Tomorrow, much of the same, clear skies and a high of 86, with again those early morning lows at 58 degrees. Tomorrow, you can really see that all of Francine, what it would have moved up to us, has been pushed down by this high pressure system that has really set up and not allowed anything to go. You can tell by this convective outlook map that we are really looking everywhere but Ohio to get some rain. So it's really unfortunate that this high pressure system is really moving this rain out of our area. Again, into tomorrow night, the high pressure starts to move away, but again, nothing's really coming into our area, so more clear skies. However, if we move out a bit, we can start to see something move up in the central part of America, and so we might be able to see something begin to develop towards the end of the weekend, beginning of next week. Really looking out, you can see lows, highs all over the place, but we might see a system begin to develop and provide us some rain at the beginning of next week. Looking into our 7-day outlook, Thursday, again today was a great day, sunny skies. Looking into the weekend, we're going to have partly sunny to sunny skies all weekend with highs in the mid to upper 80s. But again, on Monday, we might have those low pressure systems move in with some possibility for some clouds, thankfully. And now we'll have a little bit of relief from these drought-like conditions with some rains possible on Monday and potential thunderstorms on Tuesday and Wednesday. So really be on the lookout. Grab an umbrella, grab your jacket if you're heading out at the beginning of next week, because we may have some rain on the way.
Thanks, Steve. And those nice weekend conditions will be perfect as Athens County is celebrating one of America's largest native fruits. And tomorrow marks the start of the annual Pawpaw Festival in Albany. Athens County Commissioner Chris Shamil is joining us live in the studio to talk all things pawpaw. Thanks for joining us, Chris.
My pleasure.
So, Chris, for people who are just learning about the Pawpaw Festival, what can you tell them?
Well, it's a very educational event. We have kids stuff, we have pawpaw beer, we have live music, we have disc golf, we have a run, a bike ride, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything new this year? Because you were talking to me a little bit earlier that you've been there the entire time for 26 years. Is there anything new this year that people can look forward to?
One thing we're really excited about, it's the first time that we're going to have the president of the university be a judge for the pawpaw cook-off and the best pawpaw competition. So we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, what's the best pawpaw dish you've had?
Best pawpaw dish, I mean, pawpaw baklava.
Oh, really?
Pretty amazing.
That's pretty nice. So, why pawpaws? Why for this region is pawpaws so prevalent?
So yeah, these fruit grow wild, and there's like millions of trees in the region. OU students could go up on the ridges, go on the bike path and find them. And I understand you've never had a pawpaw.
I have never had a pawpaw.
So let's try this.
Let's try one.
Yeah, you want to eat the yellow part.
Okay.
And it's related to 2,100 tropical fruits, so it's very tropical. Maybe tastes like a little bit like a mango.
A little bit of banana, a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I love pawpaws. That's why we started the Pawpaw Festival.
Yeah.
And we bring people in from all over the world.
Yeah. If you have not had one of these, you got to go get them. Yeah. So, I mean, can you tell me a little bit more about the Zero Waste initiative that organizers have?
Yeah. So we're a pretty environmentally minded event. And we always try to basically, we work with zero waste so that, recycling, composting, reduce trash, all that stuff is happening.
Yeah, and like we talked about before, you've been there for the entire time. What is your favorite event that you've had at the Pawpaw Festival?
So I host the Pawpaw Eating Competition, which is at 5:30 on Saturday. And that's like sort of the peak for me, the festival. And it's a ton of fun. But yeah, check out our Spotify playlist, 2024 Ohio Pawpaw Fest here. We've got great musicians coming in all weekend. And
yeah.
And if you're 21, come out and drink some pawpaw beer.
Oh yeah, so how can people try and stay safe at the Pawpaw Festival?
Well, we do have free shuttles from Baker Center and Athens, so that makes it convenient if you're going to come out and have a drink. And be safe. In general, it's a very safe, family-friendly event, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about the pawpaw eating contest. How many people? What's the largest total you've seen someone eat? Because these things are great.
Yeah, it's not. We don't really set it up that way because we don't want people to OD on pawpaws. So
there's a little bit too much pawpaw.
Yeah, so it has to do with like spitting out those seeds completely clean, and so it's a little different. But yeah, last year we had around 10,000 people, so it's a pretty big event.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Chris, and I will definitely be hopping around and get another one of those pawpaws.
Yeah, come on out.
Thanks for joining us. And you can get more information at the Pawpaw Fest website. If you are interested in buying tickets, you can head to pawpawfest.com/tickets. Aldi employees can expect a pay raise as the chain increases starting pay. Aldi says the new starting wage will be $18 an hour for workers in their stores and $23 an hour for warehouse workers. Employees who work at least 30 hours a week will also have access to health insurance and paid time off. Aldi already offers flexible scheduling and 100% paid parental and caregiver leave. Aldi is in the middle of a hiring surge and says it plans to hire more than 13,000 employees for new store openings and the upcoming holiday season.
Next in sports, high school volleyball is in full swing, and we'll preview two Athens County matchups, one of them having a massive output on the TVC Ohio standings.
On Masterpiece Mystery.
It's about our daughter. She's gone missing. We think it may be because of one of your books.
Chapter 1. Melissa James had made a great many enemies.
Oh, look at this. It's a wicked-looking thing.
Murder has a pattern.
You were the key witness. What did you see?
Moonflower Murders on Masterpiece Mystery.
Sunday at 9 on WOUB.
On Masterpiece Mystery.
Think of all the people out there frightened, scared of death.
There's something going on with Hendrik.
Do you know what your problem is, Pete? Trust.
I trust my team. Drop the gun.
You drop the gun.
Van der Valk, the new season on Masterpiece Mystery.
Sunday at 10 on WOUB.
This is you on the cusp of your next chapter.
It's a passageway into something new.
It just seeps into you.
It's a groundbreaking moment.
We can make it ours.
We're coming out hot. We're starting here. It's definitely going to be a treat for their palate.
What a story.
She had the imagination of a genius.
Each time I go up there, it's the sense of newness.
3, 2, 1.
Showtime.
We're all running.
It's beautiful. Cherish every moment.
Continue to laugh.
We hope you'll join us.
There is no going back.
It's time for a new beginning.
Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm Josh Herner. High school volleyball is in full swing tonight, including an Athens County battle. The Trimble Tomcats are looking to gain their second conference win against the Belpre Golden Eagles. The Tomcats are currently 4-8 on the year and are tied for 5th in the Tri-Valley Hawking Conference standings. First serve is set for tonight at 7:15. Tonight's Ace Nation Game of the Week takes us to Nelsonville, where the Bulldogs and the Buckeyes will battle it out. Athens and Nelsonville York are currently both undefeated in conference play, with the Buckeyes holding a half-game lead. Tonight's contest will start at 7:30. Heading over to collegiate volleyball, the Ohio Bobcats start their trip to California tonight against Loyola Marymount. Ohio begins the SoCal Cup tonight at 9 p.m., looking for a win over the Loyola Marymount Lions. The Bobcats currently sit at 3-2 on the season thus far, and tonight's contest is just the beginning of a busy weekend for the team. Ohio will still have 2 games remaining in the tournament after tonight, taking on nationally ranked USC on Friday, following up with Utah State on Saturday. After their trip concludes, the Bobcats will head home to host their second invitational on the season next weekend. The other Ohio Bobcats squad in action tonight, women's soccer, as they head to Western Kentucky to take on the Hilltoppers. Ohio soccer has started this season off on a strong note, winning their last 2 contests. Their only loss of the season comes against number 8 ranked Michigan State, with whom they fell to in the NCAA tournament last season. Goalkeeper Celeste Sloma has taken home 2 MAC Player of the Week honors in back-to-back weeks. The Bobcats will head back home on Sunday to honor all of their seniors on Sunday, taking on Oakland. This is the final game before Ohio begins MAC play, with possibly their toughest test in conference action coming against Western Michigan 1 week from today. Ohio field hockey has been battle-tested so far this season and will look to make another statement tomorrow night. The Bobcats are coming off of a big 3-2 victory in overtime against Michigan State last week. After that performance, 2 Bobcats took home some hardware. Mila Kopp took home the Defensive Player of the Week, while Sasha Dekotla was awarded the Offensive Player of the Week for the Mid-American Conference. To cap off field hockey action, Ohio will return home for their home opener Sunday against St. Louis. MAC play begins for the Bobcats in their next game against Appalachian State. Ohio football looks to get their second victory of the season this Saturday against Morgan State. Although taking on an FCS opponent, head coach Tim Albin is not overlooking the Bears.
Got to the second level and they didn't get him down, right? I mean, that's what the difference is. There were some runs in there that were just, I mean, it's, you know, he's a big back, and the old arm tackle didn't get him down, you know, and the pile fell forward, and it wasn't 2nd and 9.
Kickoff is set for 3:30 against Akron for the homecoming game, Jack. I know that's one a lot of people have circled on their calendar.
I mean, why wouldn't you have it circled on your calendar? It's one of the best times of the year in Southeast Ohio is when Ohio University comes home for homecoming. Now, that's a little bit further away, so Morgan State. What are you thinking could happen this Saturday? Do you think the Bobcats could pull out a win?
Jack, one thing I'm really excited for this Saturday, QB Parker Navarro. He's really impressed the past 2 weeks, and we'll see what he could do again on Saturday.
Thank you so much, Josh. Where there's football, there are tailgates, but it's important to stay in the know about how to celebrate safely this season. The Ohio Department of Commerce says tailgaters should brush up on Ohio's underage and open container laws. The department reminds Ohioans that it is illegal to drink alcohol in public unless you are somewhere with a liquor license. In the same vein, public use of cannabis products is a minor misdemeanor. So Bobcat fans should keep that in mind going into week 3 of this football season. And still ahead, the next Sundance Film Festival may be closer to home than you think.
This year, Gridiron is back and better than ever with our 25th season. I'm your host, Haley Hollinger.
And I'm your digital host, Donovan Varney. Throughout the week, make sure to tune into our Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube for game preview segments on the pregame huddle. If you still can't get enough high school football, check out our Instagram and TikTok for more weekly content.
And of course, we'll see you right here every Friday night at 11:30 p.m. because there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
For more than 70 years, WOUB Public Media has been the place where people in our region turn to learn how stories of the past ignite the imagination of the future. It's where information, entertainment, and education work together to inform, enlighten, and inspire generations. It's the place where the community gathers to hear and see our world in new and innovative ways. WOUB, the public media you trust that's worthy of your support.
WOUB is recognizing members of our Cornerstone Society. The Cornerstone Society is a group that wants to ensure the future of public media in our region. It includes people across our area who value news, entertainment, and cultural programming, as well as the educational services WOUB provides. Also included are graduates of Ohio University who took part in the WOUB Student Professional Development Program. Thanks to the Cornerstone Society for their generous support. To learn how you can be involved, email woub@woub.org.
This is a matter of life and death.
Oh, good. Tell us everything.
Something's not right. Could be worse.
These two crimes are connected.
That's changed everything.
Wrapped your eyes in murder again.
Needle in a haystack, right? I trust my instincts.
I should leave this alone.
But you won't.
It's one step for man and a giant leap forward for commercial space programs. A SpaceX capsule completed the world's first commercial spacewalk today. Billionaire tech CEO Jared Isaacman and SpaceX engineer Sarah Gillis completed the world's first commercial spacewalk for about 10 minutes each. Former International Space Station Commander Chris Hadfield says today's mission opens the door to exciting new opportunities. The Polaris Dawn crew will spend another couple of days in orbit checking off remaining missions. The Sundance Film Festival may be coming to Ohio. In an alphabetical order, there are Boulder, Colorado, Cincinnati, Ohio, and the combination of Salt Lake City and Park City, Utah, making the final cut on the list. These 3 finalists were assessed on various levels, including infrastructure, equity values, and its ability to hold the event. The new host city will be announced after the 2025 Film Festival. You know, we had Chris on earlier today, and it was another gorgeous day, and look at what we had. Look what he left us. Some pawpaws. So we'll have to try these off camera. But first, what can we expect for the weather the rest of this week?
The rest of the week, it's going to be pretty dry, especially this weekend. It'll be pleasant. Again, warmer temperatures, so it's still going to feel like summer.
Good pawpaw weather.
Great pawpaw weather.
Great pawpaw weather.
The end of this weekend, though, we'll see some clouds roll in, a little bit of rain. Monday, 85 degrees, so we still have that temperature up in the summery kind of feel, but we'll have that rain to hopefully give us a little relief from this drought. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and those sunny conditions for Pawpaw Fest look awesome. Well, that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For all of us here at the desk, I'm Jack Green. So stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at woub.org. Have a great night.
This is the PBS app, ready for you when you want to watch full episodes of your favorite shows. Even stream your local station live.